We ranked every major cruise line from worst to best, and one of them just had a ship score a single point above a federal health failure. Another is quietly the cleanest at sea, scoring a near-perfect 99. By the end, you will know exactly which lines to avoid, which one actually fits you, and the scores the cruise lines really do not want you looking up. Because here is what almost nobody tells you. Every cruise line has a completely different personality, and booking the wrong one for who you are can wreck the trip you saved all year for. So we are ranking them worst to best, matching each one to who it is really for, and backing every claim with something real, the government's own health inspection scores, the line's published prices and policies, or what thousands of actual passengers report. Facts, not opinions. One quick thing to know before we start. The government scores each ship out of 186 passes, anything below that fails, and the average sits in the mid-90s. Keep that number in your head, and let's start at the very bottom. Number 10. MSC Cruises. MSC lands at the bottom for the everyday American traveler, and it is a story of dazzle over consistency. The ships look stunning, and that is not just hype. But MSC built its name in Europe, and is still growing into the American market. Here is the documented pattern, not just one opinion. Across 2026 review roundups, the recurring complaint about MSC in the United States is service and food consistency, with passengers repeatedly citing uneven service tied to the multilingual crew and a main dining experience that varies ship to ship. Independent reviewers describe it the same way: value pricing and beautiful ships, but inconsistent service and add-on fees. So this is a widely reported pattern, not a lone reviewer's gripe. Now the data check, because this is where fairness matters. On cleanliness, MSC actually holds up. Several of its ships have earned perfect 100 CDC scores, including MSC Meraviglia and MSC Seashore. So the kitchens and water are well run. The inconsistency people report is service, not sanitation. And there is one bright spot everyone agrees on. The MSC Yacht Club, the ship within a ship suite area, which reviewers widely call one of the best premium value products in mainstream cruising. So MSC is worth it at the right price, or in the Yacht Club. Just keep expectations realistic on the main ship. Now to a line everyone has an opinion about. Number 9. Carnival Cruise Line. Carnival has a reputation as the fun, party-on-a-budget line, and here is the fact behind that reputation. Carnival consistently posts the lowest advertised base fares of any major United States cruise line, which multiple 2026 pricing analyses confirm outright. That low price is not a vibe, it is a documented, repeatable fact, and it is exactly why the party and value crowd fills these ships. The trade-off is consistency. The widely reported passenger experience is a mixed bag. One night the food surprises you. The next it disappoints, and reviewers consistently note the quality swings by ship. Carnival's own newer XL-class ships get markedly better reviews than its older vessels, which is why seasoned cruisers keep repeating the same advice. The specific ship matters more on Carnival than on almost any other line. The data proves that ship-to-ship point exactly. Carnival Cruise Line averaged 95.38 across its fleet in 2025, solidly passing, right in the middle of the pack. But look at the spread. Carnival's own Carnival Pride scored an 86, one single point above failing, while Carnival Luminosa earned a perfect 100. Same line, opposite ends. So Carnival is a fine, affordable, truly fun choice for the right crowd. Just look up your specific ship first, because the data says it truly varies. Now, before I get to the lines that climb the list, do me one quick favor. If this honest, no marketing breakdown is helping, tap subscribe. I pull the real inspection reports and the real policies so you always know what you are booking, not just what the brochure claims. That is the whole channel. All right, back to the countdown. Number 8. Norwegian Cruise Line. Norwegian is built around one idea it named itself: freestyle cruising. That is not marketing spin from me. It is the brand's own defining product. No fixed dining times, no assigned tables, no formal dress code. Passengers pick Norwegian specifically for that flexibility. Two facts back up its reputation. First, entertainment. Norwegian runs actual Broadway productions at sea, real licensed shows like Six, Jersey Boys, and Beetlejuice, presented free in the theaters, which is why it is repeatedly named among the best at sea for shows. Second, and this is a well-documented strength, Norwegian is the industry leader for solo travelers. It purpose-built studio cabins priced for one person with no single supplement and added nearly 1,000 solo cabins across the fleet since 2024, plus a private studio lounge just for solo guests. No other mainstream line commits to solo travelers like that. The honest catch, also well documented, is that the best dining sits in specialty venues that cost extra, so the freestyle experience can turn into pay-to-play. The data backs Norwegian strongly. Its parent company ranked third cleanest in the industry at 97.39, and in the prior inspection year, Norwegian had 7 ships earn a perfect 100, more than any other cruise company, with the Norwegian Breakaway scoring a perfect 100 twice. So the freedom comes with excellent, well-documented cleanliness. Norwegian is perfect if you want flexibility, great shows, or the best solo travel setup at sea. Now a classic name that suits a very specific traveler. Number 7. Princess Cruises. Princess is famous for one thing above all, and it is verifiable: Alaska. Princess actually owns and operates its own wilderness lodges near Denali and its own direct-to-the-wilderness glass-domed rail service, connecting ship to shore seamlessly. That is not a claim, it is documented infrastructure, and for 2026 Princess is running its largest Alaska season ever, around 180 departures, more than any other line, with over 50 years of history in the region. If Alaska is your trip, Princess belongs near the top. Its other real innovation is the Medallion, a wearable device that unlocks your cabin, handles payment, and lets you order food or drinks to your location anywhere on the ship. Again, a real product, not a talking point. Where Princess is widely reported to fall short is nightlife. Evenings lean quiet and traditional, so party seekers get bored. On the data, Princess sits a touch lower than its reputation suggests, averaging 94.43, the 13th cleanest line. Still comfortably passing, mid-90s but not top tier, and a good reminder that a beloved brand is not automatically the cleanest. Princess is best for couples, multi-generational families, and anyone whose bucket list says Alaska. Now the giant everyone knows. Number 6. Royal Caribbean. If cruising were a theme park, Royal Caribbean would be the biggest and boldest on the planet, and that is close to literal. Its Icon and Oasis-class ships carry more than 6,000 passengers and pack in surf simulators, zip lines, and full Central Park-style neighborhoods. The documented strength is choice and family appeal. There is truly something for every age, which is why families consistently rank it at the top. The documented trade-offs are just as real. These ships are huge, so popular venues fill fast and lines form. And Royal is widely reported for its nickel and dime effect, where the best dining, Wi-Fi, and activities carry extra charges, with some longtime cruisers noticing the included food quality slipping to nudge guests toward the paid venues. That is a consistent passenger complaint, not a one-off. The data is a strong point for Royal. The Royal Caribbean Group averaged 96.74, and the line put 5 ships on the 2025 Perfect 100 list, including Adventure of the Seas, a ship from 2001 that proves age does not equal dirty, so it is clean and well run at the top end. Royal is the ultimate crowd pleaser, as budget or as lavish as you make it. Now, the line people misjudge. Number 5. Disney Cruise Line. Most people hear Disney and assume it is just for kids. That is only half the story, and the other half is verifiable. Yes, the kids' clubs are unmatched, but Disney also runs adults-only pools and adults-only fine dining, and reviewers consistently rank that adult experience alongside far pricier lines. The one fact everyone should know before booking is the price. Disney is documented as one of the most expensive mainstream lines, frequently running close to double a comparable Royal Caribbean or Carnival itinerary. What you get for that premium, and this is the consistent report, is consistency itself, larger than average cabins, food that beats expectations, and service passengers repeatedly describe as near flawless. The data supports the premium. Disney ranked fourth cleanest among the parent companies at 97 flat, near the very top, and it holds that standard across a small, tightly run fleet rather than a sprawling one. So when you pay the Disney premium, the cleanliness and consistency really are there in the numbers. Disney is for families and lifelong fans who want magic with real polish and will pay for it. Now we move into the lines that truly stand out. Number 4. Celebrity Cruises. Celebrity brands itself as modern luxury, and reviewers largely agree it delivers. Its Edge-class ships are widely praised as design-led, more boutique hotel than traditional cruise ship. The documented crowd is adults and couples, skewing 40-plus, food-focused, who want refinement without ultra-luxury stuffiness. Here is a money fact the brochures downplay. Celebrity uses an always-included style fare that bundles drinks, Wi-Fi, and gratuities, and multiple 2026 price comparisons show that once you add those same packages to a Royal Caribbean fare, Celebrity often becomes the better deal for a more premium experience. That is a documented pricing comparison, not a hunch. The data puts Celebrity near the top of the mainstream lines, averaging 97.13, fifth cleanest of all individual brands, with 3 ships earning perfect 100s. So the modern luxury promise is backed by genuinely top-tier cleanliness. Celebrity is for travelers who want style, service, and great food, but not water slides. Now, the top 3. Number 3. Holland America line. Holland America has sailed for over a century, and its personality is documented in what it does and does not offer. No water slides or go-karts, but piano lounges, cooking classes, and destination lectures for travelers who love slow travel. Like Princess, and this is verifiable, it shares ownership of the same Alaska land operation, running its own lodges, rail cars, and motor coaches through Carnival Corporation's Holland America Princess Alaska Tours, the leading tour company in Alaska and the Yukon, so its Alaska land and sea trips are the real thing, backed by owned infrastructure. The widely reported onboard vibe is serene and mature, fewer children, quieter days. That is not for everyone, and reviewers say so plainly. If you want high-energy nightlife or lots of kids' activities, you will find it subdued. But for travelers who value comfort, classic style, and a real connection to the destination, it consistently earns its place near the top. Now the line that broke all the rules. Number 2. Virgin Voyages. Richard Branson entered cruising to throw out the rulebook, and Virgin's identity is backed entirely by documented policy. It is strictly adults only, 18 and over, on every sailing, which is a stated, verifiable policy, not a vibe. That single rule shapes everything: no kids' clubs, no water slides, a boutique hotel feel. The best part, and this is fully documented, is the honesty of the pricing. Virgin includes all of its 20-plus restaurants in the fare, with no upcharge for the food itself, plus Wi-Fi and gratuities included, which is rare in mainstream cruising and confirmed across independent reviews. Its dining has even been named number 1 for a mainstream line. Entertainment skips Broadway for immersive theater, cabaret, and late-night parties, curated for adults who want something different. Virgin is not for everyone, and the honest drawbacks are documented too: a small fleet of 4 ships and limited itineraries, and no children means no family trips. But for the young at heart who want a modern, all-inclusive resort at sea with pricing you can actually trust, Virgin earns the number 2 spot. Now the very top. Number 1. The ultra-luxury and boutique lines. At the peak sit the small, ultra-luxury lines: Viking, Oceania, Regent, Silversea, Seabourn, Crystal, and Cunard among them. Their defining trait is documented and simple. These ships carry hundreds instead of thousands, which means no crowds, no lines, and a crew who actually knows your name. The included pricing model is real. On most of these lines, Wi-Fi, dining, premium drinks, and often excursions and gratuities are built into the fare, so you are not nickel and dimed. The suites, the fine dining, the elevated itineraries to places like the Norwegian fjords, all documented features of the segment, not marketing gloss. And here is where the data crowns them, because this is not just image. On the CDC scores, the small, independent luxury lines are the cleanest in the entire industry. Viking topped every parent company at 98.75. Viking Ocean, Viking Expedition, and Crystal tied for the single cleanest lines at 99 out of 100. The pattern held into 2026, when the independent Margaritaville at Sea earned a perfect 100 across its whole fleet. The lesson is consistent and measurable. The smaller and more focused the line, the cleaner and more consistent it scores. These cruises are expensive, no question, but the government's own data confirms they are the best run at sea. Now, before you book any of them, there is one hard truth no score can protect you from. The truth about getting sick that no ranking can fix. Here's the part almost no ranking video will tell you honestly. In 2025, the CDC reported 23 norovirus outbreaks on cruise ships, up 28% from the year before. And the uncomfortable finding buried in the data is this: there was no correlation between a ship's sanitation score and whether it had an outbreak. None. A ship can score a near-perfect 99 and still have an outbreak, because norovirus spreads person to person, hand to railing to hand, and no inspection score can control thousands of passengers touching the same buffet tongs. So the smartest move, on any line at any score, is simple. Wash your hands with real soap and water, since the sanitizer stations do not kill norovirus. Use a napkin on the serving spoons. And if there is an outbreak on board, stay out of the crowded dining rooms. So here is where all of this leaves you before you book. Match the line to who you actually are. Cheap and fun Carnival, and it is verifiably the lowest fare. Flexibility, shows, or solo travel, Norwegian. Alaska, Princess, or Holland America, both with real-owned lodges and rail. A floating theme park for the family, Royal Caribbean. Magic with Polish if you will pay for it, Disney. Modern style and food with honest bundled pricing, Celebrity. Adults only with everything included, Virgin. And the cleanest, most personal sailing money can buy, the small, ultra-luxury lines. Whatever you pick, look up your exact ship's CDC score before you pay, because even a great line can have one weak ship. Do that, match your personality to the line and check the real score, and you will book smarter than almost everyone else on board. If this gave you an honest new way to choose your cruise, subscribe, and I will keep pulling the real reports so you always know the truth before you book.